Hey guys, welcome back to Dental Unfiltered. I'm Matt Brown. Of course, I'm here with my normal co-host, Dr. Andrew Vallo. Today's episode is team turnover, challenge or opportunity. Guys, this is such a big subject. We talk about staffing a lot from different points of view, associates, all kinds of stuff. Guys, I can tell you how often I'm on the phone with a doc and he's like having full anxiety because his one actually. So I'm gonna explain a scenario right now. I have a practice, been with me a long time. I'm really talented implant and cosmetic doc and all on four doc, local to me. And his number one case presenter and office manager is going out on baby leave. And they had to last minute train a new case presenter. And the amount of anxiety this guy's had about this is crazy. Well, in the process, we discovered this other staff member could actually end up being an effective case presenter. So when she comes back from baby leave, they won't have one, but they'll have two, right? So it was a challenge that turned into an opportunity. So this whole episode, guys, is about, we see these staff changeovers and turnovers coming. A staff member is married to a military member and they get new orders and go somewhere else, and you see it coming and it creates all kinds of anxiety. There is some comfort in looking at it with the spirit of something exciting and new is going to come out of this. And it doesn't have to be all anxiety. Staff turnover can be one of the greatest sources for team growth in the entire practice because it changes the team dynamic, makes people pick up doing more responsibilities, makes people try to pick up more and shine. It's such a great opportunity for growth. And I would love to hear Dr. Vallo, growing 4 practices in the time period. You've had, you probably have staff members that have left that you can't remember their names now because of turnover and stuff, because of how big your organization is. But I would love to hear your point of view on all the opportunity and challenges that have come with it and how you found the opportunity in all of it.
Yeah, this is going to be a great episode, Matt. Guys, I think that turnover is one of the scariest things to dentists. And I'm going to remind Matt, as I always do, I don't call my team staff because that's an infection. So they're our dental
team members. Team. Yeah, sorry about that.
That's okay. I'll always remind you. No problem. So anyways, this has been a mindset shift for me over the years. When I first opened my first startup, I, like many of you out there, felt like I was held hostage by my team members. I was scared that if anybody left, the practice was going to fall apart. And, part of that feeling was true in some sense because we didn't have great systems in place. So my office, my business was people driven, not system driven. And so over the last few years, we've been making that shift, and we're still making it. We're still working on adding more systems, fine-tuning systems, all of that stuff. But the goal is that your business should not ever be dependent on one person. Because if that person leaves, somebody else should be able to step in and jump into that system that you already have set as if that person had never been replaced. So that's part of it. That's part of the mindset shift, is getting your business, your dental office systematized so that you're not dependent on individual people being there. Because even if you have an amazing office and you're the nicest boss in the world, people are still going to leave. They're going to decide to go into a different field. They're going to move across the country. Something's going to happen. They're going to decide that they want to spend more time with their kids, and they're going to be a stay-at-home parent. So these things are going to happen. You need to be prepared for it, and you need to prepare ahead of time. So don't make the mistake of waiting until these issues arise and then making systems. Start making your systems now so you're ready to go. And that's part one. Part two is, I think we get this mindset that it's so hard to find great team members that if someone leaves, we're never going to find a replacement.
This is the only one. It's like the one true love you're dating. Like there's no one else. This is it. Not true.
And it's just not true. It's not. Now, different parts of the country, it can be harder or easier to find different team members. I'm in Tampa. It's a busy area. There are a lot of team members out there. There's also a lot of practices looking for team members. So, we kind of get both ends of it. There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of the grass is greener. We pay very well. Our base pay is near the top end for the area for pretty much all positions. We have bonuses. We're adding more benefits. But, there's always an office out there that's, willing to pay more or do more or whatever it is. So we have the competition. It can be difficult to find team members sometimes, but at the same time, you can't let that fear paralyze you and allow you to keep a toxic team member that is bringing the rest of the team down. So again, I used to not be good about this. And from time to time, we'd have a team member that just was not a good fit for our culture. And I would let them stay for far too long. That was my weakness. And I'll tell you what, the rest of the team, you could tell it was affecting them. Morale was down. Team culture was impacted to the point where sometimes I would have team members come up to me. And I remember I had a pivotal moment where I knew there was a team member that I should have let go for months and months. And finally, one of our A players, one of our amazing star team members came to me and said, look, I respect you. I love working here, but I cannot continue to work with this person dragging our team down. It's either them or me, basically. Like if you don't let them go, I'm going to go find another opportunity where I don't have to deal with this toxic culture. So, I mean, that was probably one of the pivotal moments in me trying to start changing my mindset around this. And I did. I finally made the decision that I should have made long before and let that team member go. And immediately our culture improved. So,
it's kind of like dating, right? Like you go on a first date, somebody shows you the very, very best version of themselves. That's the interview, right? Then you go on date 2, 3, and 4. You do different activities together. That's the first 2 weeks. The person's there, and they settle in and get comfortable. And then they make a statement when you're dating, or they do an action, or they present themselves something that's non-compromisable to you, right? And you get that feeling inside, like, yeah, I don't know about this. But when you have that feeling, man, listen to your gut. As a leader and a dentist, listen to your gut. That DA all of a sudden did something you would never agree with. And listen, that might be the best DA for some other doc. They're not a bad DA. There's not the right one for you, right? It's like the best thing you can do is once you realize that, is start working towards the process of exit, because it's better to get rid of the known evil and roll the dice on the what could come in than it is to deal with it and try to change something you can't change.
Yeah. Now, at the same time, guys, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be trying to coach team members up. You have to set clear expectations. You have to give constructive feedback. You have to give team members the opportunity to grow and become, the person that you're looking for that position. So it is on you as a leader. And if you've got a group like me, it's on your leadership team. It's on your office managers. And, if you've got an operations manager, regional, it's on the leadership team to make sure these things are happening. But at the end of the day, if that person's just not a good fit, you should not allow them to impact your office, your business, your culture, your morale in a negative way. It's time to let them find, an opportunity that's a better fit for them, and for you to find a team member that's a better fit for your organization. Anytime we have team turnover, I look at it as 3 different opportunities. And the first opportunity, is if someone left, is there something that we weren't doing well, and is that why they left? So, are there things within our organization that I can improve upon to make it a better place for people to come to work? And that's my goal. I told our leadership team, we had a meeting. We try to meet with our leadership team, everybody at least once a month now. We do a Zoom call. And during our last leadership meeting, I told the team, my number one focus right now is not production. It's not collections. It's not some other KPI like that. My number one goal right now is to make our offices a better place for our team members and a better place for our patients. So we are focused on team experience and patient experience for 2024. And we're going to talk about another episode about what that means exactly. But my point is, you got somebody who decides to leave. Use that as an opportunity to figure out, are there things that we're not doing well, that we're not creating a positive work environment, for this team member? Opportunity number 2, can I find someone who's even better at their job? And this has happened quite often where, somebody has, especially earlier on where I was afraid to let people go. It actually happened more recently, with a hygienist that I should have let go before. But I couldn't do it. She was consistently our lowest producing hygienist every single month, far behind all the other hygienists. We'd have meetings and we'd talk about perio and fluoride and reappointment and all this stuff. and it just seemed like it went in one ear and out the other. But overall, I really liked her as a person, and the patients liked her and everything else. So I just couldn't ever get up the courage to be like, hey, she's not the right fit for our practice, because she's just not she's not upholding what we're trying to do. She's not rowing the same direction everyone else is. She's not providing optimal care for our patients because she's not providing these services they really need. She decided to walk out, and she walked out with no notice. And I think I told the story in another episode, but it was crazy. It was one of the few times recently where I like almost lost my my shit, because I was like, oh my God, how am I going to replace a hygienist with no notice? I mean, it was the day of. We had to rearrange patients. Our other hygienists were stepped up and were doing some like assisted hygiene to try to help see some of our patients. We had to reschedule some patients. We had to find temps for the next couple of weeks. I had to find a new hygienist to come in. But as I started to sink into that woe is me moment, I said, you know what? This really is an opportunity. This is something that I didn't have the fortitude to do on my own because I felt bad. But now our lowest producing hygienist just left, and I have the opportunity to bring in a higher producing hygienist. And I found one immediately. And immediately it is improving our hygiene department. So
if you think about
again,
if it's the lowest producing, the gamble of what could come in is definitely going to be a positive.
Yep. So turnover, someone's leaving. One, do we have an opportunity to make this a better workplace? What caused them to leave? Two, do we have an opportunity to find a better fit for that position? And I'll tell you what, most of the time, the answer is going to be yes. And then the third opportunity is going back to what we were talking about earlier, systems. Do we have the systems in place so that somebody else can step into this person's role as if they never left? And if the answer is no, that is your opportunity to work on your systems, to create a new system, to fine tune a system. But those are the three things that I now look at whenever we have team turnover. And I think it is making our organization that much stronger. I will tell you what, guys, you see people out there that, are having success. We're all going through stuff. Everybody is dealing with crap. No matter how good numbers look, no matter how good things look on paper, there's always stuff we're dealing with. And I'm sorry, I'm a little bit congested today, but we went through a period a few months ago. At my organization, we've got about 40 team members now, but we had, I think, 8 team members spread across the 4 offices we had to replace at one time. That was insane. That was not a fun moment for me. But once again, instead of getting down on it, I looked at those 3 things. I looked and said, why are these people leaving? Can we find better fits for their role than they were? And do we have the systems in place so that the next person we bring in can step right in their role? And from that, we've hired some amazing team members. We're making positive changes to our work environment, and we are adding and improving upon our systems. And our organization is in a better place now than we were 3 or 4 months ago before this turnover happened. So my point of this whole episode is for everyone out there, because almost everyone, deals with turnover from time to time. When you are faced with that situation, don't let it get you down. Don't freak out. Don't lose sleep. Don't give yourself an ulcer. But look at these opportunities that you have to improve upon your dental practice, your culture, your patient experience, your numbers. I mean, it truly is an opportunity. It's a blessing in disguise. It all goes back to my favorite book by my favorite author, The Obstacle Is the Way by Ryan Holiday. What opportunity do I have in this challenge?
So Andrew, one more time, can you, just for the listener audience, sometimes it's good to reaffirm, what are the 3 opportunities you find in staff turnover? So just say the 3 opportunities again. Like you said, when this happens,
Yep,
I look for these 3 opportunities. Just to like kind of solidify that thought process. Just say the 3 opportunities again for me.
First opportunity, what can I do to make this a better work environment for all of our team members? Second opportunity, can I find a team member who is a better fit for this role than the one who just left? And third opportunity, do we have the systems in place so that the new person can step into that old person's role without any issues. And if not, let's use that to create a new system or improve upon the systems already in place.
I think one of the biggest opportunities in this. So I think one of the biggest opportunities that actually happened in your story of the walkout hygienist is the personal growth you had as a leader during that chaos and how you overcame it. Like facing that challenge is a massive personal growth opportunity for the operator and the leader of that business. Like that's really like it. Like that chaos that you had to walk through. Like I'm walking out right now in the middle of the day, and then you're like, crap, we got a full column, and you didn't sit there and woe is me and let the stress eat you alive. You took it objectively. You cleared your head. You saw the problem very clearly. You addressed it, found solutions. You got your team together and said, hey, this is the problem. We're going to overcome it. And you were a strong enough leader to do it. I think that's the biggest opportunity, is that personal growth happens right in that moment.
I think we become desensitized to, major issues or stress or whatever it is. And I don't know if we ever get to the point where you're totally desensitized, but I will tell you, 3 years ago, I get a team member putting in their notice, like, I'm freaking out. It's affecting, it is renting real estate in my brain 24/7 for probably weeks on end. Now that happens again, I face it objectively. I look at these areas we have for opportunities. And I'm not saying it, it never gets you down, because it can a little bit, but I think the more, just like having difficult conversations, the more difficult conversations you have, the more you flex that muscle, the easier they become. The more challenges you're faced with, the more you become desensitized to them, and the easier it is to face that next challenge, guys. So that is the whole point of this episode. I think this is a good place to wrap it up. We're doing a couple quicker episodes here that are just kind of right to the point, with some points that you can, take home and hopefully improve your practice, improve your mindset. Thanks for listening, guys. As always, if there's any questions, feel free to reach out to me. We appreciate all of our listeners. We appreciate, the reviews, the follows, and we appreciate you sharing. I will tell you guys that I recently, went to one of my dental conferences, and I had 3 or 4 different people come up to me just to say thank you for the podcast, that, they're getting a lot out of it. They really appreciate it. And that was really cool. That meant a lot. Again, guys, Matt and I, our whole objective for doing this was to kind of share some of the knowledge that we've learned in the dental industry, and what I've learned, growing my startup group. So if you are getting value out of it and you want to share that with us, that does mean a lot. So thank you.
Yeah, guys, please hit like, subscribe. If this episode was beneficial to you, Doc, if it changed something in you, if you found like it affected you in a positive way, please share it with others and allow other people to have positive impact of it. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Dental Unfiltered.